I am sorry about the first video I made that there was no sound. It wasn't until after I posted it that I realized that the sound was not working. So I am doing it over again. As I had said, I was saying that as far back as I can remember, there is one question, or there are many questions, but there was a particular question that so many people have asked, and as far as I have seen, no one has the answer. Everybody have speculation and no correct answer, and that is because they are not doing their research. Most people, they go to church and their Bible only get open when the pastor says open and turn to such and such a page. And when he finish reading and finish preaching, they close their Bible and they go home. And the Bible stay home wherever they put it, collecting dust until the next time they go back to church. But the question that so many people have asked is, where did Cain get his wife? A lot of people said there must be another creation that was not mentioned. And after the expulsion from the Garden of Eden, Cain found a wife from the other people that was created outside of the Garden of Eden, and that must be where he gets his wife from. But if you read carefully, you will see that it is not so. Even in the King James Version of the Bible, you will find the answer there, but nobody take time to read, and no one is using the brain that God gave them. So I decided to do some research, not just in the King James Version, but to look up other versions. You have the Ethiopian Bible, you have the Book of Jubilee, the book which is also called the Book of Giants, you have the Tanakh, which is the Jewish Bible, and you have the Latin Vulgate, which is the Catholic Bible. And just for your knowledge, the King James Version of the Bible is a direct translation from the Latin Vulgate, which means that the King James Version of the Bible is owned by the Catholic Church. So then, let me tell you what I found. In the Book of Jubilee, it says that after Adam and Eve was put out of the garden, Cain and Abel. Cain was born in the second Jubilee, the third week. A Jubilee is 49 years, and a week is 7 years. In the second Jubilee, the fourth week, Abel was born. And in the fifth week, Adam and Eve gave birth to a daughter. Her name is Awan. And then Cain slew his brother Abel. Abel was 28 years at the time. If you look at the writing, he was slain in the fourth Jubilee, the first week. He was 28 years, and Adam and Eve mourned for him 28 years. 1 year for his life, for the life that he lived. Or one year of mourning for every life, for every year he lived. And then, because after that, Adam, or should I say, Cain, married his sister Awan. Adam and Eve also had Seth. And they gave birth to a second daughter. Her name was Azura. And Seth married Azura, his sister. And after that, Adam and Eve had 9 sons, according to records, and only 2 daughters was mentioned. So Adam and Eve had 12 sons. Abel dying leave 11, and only 2 daughters were mentioned by name. Cain and Awan had a son. His name was Enos. And they also had a daughter. Her name was Noam. And Enos and Noam got married, and they had children. Now, my mother passed a few weeks ago, and she was buried more than a week ago, 2 weeks ago. She was 93 when she passed. She had 9 children, and between her 9 children, grandchildren, great-grand, great-great-grand, there were 98 of us, and she was only 93. So imagine a man that lives 930 years. How many children, how many grandchildren, how many great-grand, great-great-grand, and so on, and so on, and so on. And don't forget to take into account, a lot of those children got married after the age of 30, 50, some 100 or more before they got married. So no, there were no other creation. It was just Adam and Eve. And they were born in the first Jubilee, in the first week. And after the garden, after the expulsion from the garden, they begin to increase on the earth. So yes, brothers and sisters got married, cousins got married, and it go on and on and on and on and on. Even after the death of Adam and Eve, cousins were still getting married. In fact, if you even look at the Bible, you will see that most all the people who were extremely blessed by the Lord and were favored of the Lord, they married their sisters or their cousins. In those days, there were no disease. So the gene pool was perfect. The DNA was perfect. There were no disease to pass on, no sickness to pass on. There were no fear of any genetic mutation or genetic disease passing on to anyone, because they were perfect in the flesh. Now, if you like this content, follow me, comment, let me know what you think. Let me know what you find. I will also be giving information as for the expulsion from the garden, what happened, how they communicated, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, what is the difference, and the creation of the universe as told by the angels, because that's where my information comes from. Yes, I am a Christian. 7 times I went to heaven, 5 times in hell. And everything was taught to me by the angels that are with me. And yes, I do see them, and yes, they do talk to me when they feel it necessary. Follow me. Let's take this journey together.